Hi, so today I'm here to showcase my book hauls for the month of October. So basically, I have a budget of 2,000 Philippine pesos, so that's like around 40, 50 US dollars. And um, so that's my budget for a month. And typically, what I do is sometimes I go to like bookstores to buy brand new books. But most of the time, what I do is I look at these Facebook pages that sell secondhand books and that show you the titles that they'll be uploading beforehand, and then you'll have to like they will say when the specific time for upload is, and then you have to wait for it, and you have to comment that the book is yours, and then it will be delivered to you, right? So typically I do that, and in fact that's one of the books that I got that way was the book that I talked about last time, which was China Miéville's the city and the city. So this is the first one. Now, my package just arrived. This, okay. This is from the Book Snoop, and the Book Snoop is I'm like one of their regular customers there, and I typically get like a bunch of books every month from there. So this is what I got for this month, and with this and the city, so that comprises my book haul for October, and of course. I am not allowed anymore to buy any books because I've already reached my budget. Okay, so let's open this thing. Okay, and let's look at the books one by one. So typically, the books that I get are, of course, science fiction, and sometimes because I'm a theoretical physicist, I get books like biographies of scientists or essays, non-fiction books related to the sciences. Okay, so let's see what we have this month. So wrap very carefully. Okay, but here we go. Let's start with the paperbacks. First is let me see. Oh shucks. Let me do this carefully because the thing is like sticking to the book, and okay. Oh, there's like the tape just stuck on the book. But anyway, the first one is this. So it's obviously these are secondhand books, but 13 French science fiction stories. So I love myself some science fiction that came from different countries. So I have like anthologies of science fiction from the Philippines. I have one from like Japan. I read things from in my Kindle. You have like from Spain, written by Africans, Australians, and so on. So this is a nice addition to my collection. It contains there are a lot of stories here, and I don't even know these authors, so I think this will be a good introduction to the books of the French and how they do their science fiction. The next one is, of course, a classic novel by the great Arthur C. Clarke. So this is Childhood's End, and I haven't read this, but when I see this, I always like remember Iron Maiden's song Childhood's End. But yeah, it's one of the I've been looking for a copy for this one for a long time. Okay, and then we have here another science fiction anthology. This time it's hardbound, and it's called Mysterious Visions. So basically, these are, I believe, mystery writers. So as you consider, you have their Agatha Christie, you have their Conan Doyle, and so on. So basically, they use their techniques in mystery writing and attempt to come up with a mystery story, but with a science fiction flair. Okay, so that's why it's called Mysterious Visions. As you can see, it's already torn, but it has a foreword by Isaac Asimov, and of course edited by some guys, but most notably Martin Greenberg, so a famous anthologist in science fiction. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one and how, because there are sometimes a lot of elements in science fiction that I think it could work well with mystery. So Mysterious Visions. And next is we have here. Let me see. So unfortunately, this one has no cover jacket, but this is the Science Fiction Hall of Fame Volume 2B, and basically this is comprised of novellas. Okay, so volume two, because the first volume of this one is actually composed of short stories, and in fact those were the short stories that they anthologized. So it's called the Science Fiction Hall of Fame. They asked themselves, what were the science fictions prior to the creation of the Hugo and the Nebula Awards that were noteworthy, that if they were written, had they been written like when the time that the Hugo and the Nebula were there, they would have garnered some awards. So they ranked those stories in volume one, and one the authors, the sci-fi authors themselves, they were asked, "What's your favorite short story of all time?" Excluding their own short stories, of course. And then the one that came out on top is, of course, one of my favorite science fiction short stories of all time, Nightfall by Isaac Asimov. So that was number one. And then there were some classics there, many short stories. I'm hunting for a copy of that book, for a hard copy. It's in my Kindle, but I want a hard copy. So this one is volume 2B. I'm still looking for 2A. And these are comprised of all of them are novellas. So so it's thick, but there are only a bunch of stories here because they're novella. The first one, The Martian Way, I already have a copy of the anthology of Isaac Asimov containing exactly that, The Martian Way and Other Stories. So that's cool. So those were the sci-fi. Some of the other books that I have here are reference or like entertainment sort of. This one again, it has no the jacket. It's absent, but it's okay. I can like print that and then cover it with a colored printed dust jacket. But this is the golden ratio. Okay, so the story of the constant phi or phi. Okay, the world's most astonishing number. So you have a lot of these books dedicated to constants. So you have like books written about pi, about e. So I think if you rank, like, I think in order, the most famous constant. So basically pi is up there, number one, and then followed by e. This one is not as famous, the golden ratio. So this book will be focused on that, on the fascinating story on where the golden ratio will appear, and all the trivia and stuff about it. Okay, so I think this is going to be awesome. There's another book I'm also looking for, that is also talks about the constant gamma, the Euler-Mascheroni constant. That's a hard book to look for, but yeah, I'm so proud to have this book, The Golden Ratio by Mario Livio. Okay, and finally I have this very fascinating book known as The Future of Space-Time. So I believe these are a bunch of essays by people working, so space-time. So presumably these are relativists working in like general relativity uh, or gravity, and some essays regarding it. So yeah, I think this is going to be fun. It only contains like one, two, three, four, five essays, but yeah, they're long. Okay, so I believe this I'm gonna enjoy this as well. Okay, so yeah, so there we have it. So my book hauls for the month of on October. So unfortunately, two of them don't have a dust jacket, but I can fix that. And so here's one last look at the October book haul. Okay, so next month I'm gonna record as well the bunch of books that I'm gonna obtain for the month of November, right? So I'm so excited. Until next time, yeah.